hope everyone can see my screen. Everyone able to see my screen? Okay. Okay. So what you're seeing on your screen now, it's called the Scratch interface. The Scratch interface. So, Maso, when you talk about Scratch, Scratch is a visual programming language. It's a visual programming language. And when you talk about programming language, it's all about maybe giving commands, giving instructions. So Scratch is I think is the basic language of programming or coding. Yeah, it's very you can find it's very easy to comprehend, very easy to read, very easy to do with it. So it's just a visual programming language. So what you see on your screen, it's called the Scratch interface. What you're seeing on your screen, it's called the Scratch interface. The Scratch interface. As you can see, it has a layout. It has a layout. It has been. It is in parts. It is in various parts, different parts. As you can see my pointer. I want to show you the parts of the Scratch interface. We'll start with the parts of the Scratch interface. And before I go to the parts of the Scratch interface, remember we have Scratch for offline and Scratch for online. So as I said, what you're seeing on your screen is the Scratch offline. And these are just tutorials for different animations, for different animations. You can see getting started. If you want to animate your name, Imagine World, if you want to make music. So there are tutorials also for the Scratch offline. That was tutorial part, the tutorial part, so you can get there. So, and now let us come to this. Here we have something called code. I went to it's when you want to code, when you want to program. Also, next from code we have the costume part. You'll see what's the work of the costume. We have the sound. Also, you can mute your microphones when you're in the meeting. Blessed, you can mute your mic. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. So, but as you can see, we have code, we have costumes, we have sound. You'll see its work later. Here, as you can see, these are blocks. These are blocks. So what these blocks are, they are called coding blocks. These blocks here, they are called coding blocks. Coding blocks. That's the first thing you can do. Basically, what it does, it just gives instructions. Just gives instructions. You can see move 10 steps, turn 15 degrees. Those are instructions. And these coding blocks, they're in different categories. So this blue, which are in blue, there are motion coding blocks. They are motion coding blocks. They are motion coding blocks. This one in blue. As you can see, we have motion. We have looks. We have looks coding block. Looks coding blocks. Looks coding blocks. We have the sound coding blocks. We have the events coding blocks. This is whereby when you want to do something, or when and on which occasion does the next thing happen. Yeah, this event. Here we have controls. Here we have sensing. They do sensing. Here we have operators. Here we have operators. Here we have variables. Here we have coding blocks. Here we have coding. We have my blocks, my blocks. Here are variables. So those are the coding block. These are the coding blocks. These are the coding blocks. Here, this white area is called the coding area. It's called the coding area. This uh, white area is called the coding area. It's called the coding area. It's called the coding area. It's called the coding area. Another thing, here, as you can see, this is just a preview of what maybe you are making. This card here, as you can see, it's called a sprite. So there are different or many sprites. And when you want to get these sprites, you come here. At the you'll see a pop-up, choose a sprite. When you click, you'll see it will bring you a variety of sprites. Sprites are just objects. They're just objects. As you can see my screen, we have Abby, we have Amon, we have Andy. These are just objects. As you can see, animals. Maybe they're also in categories. They're being put in categories. We have people, we have fantasy, we have all these are sprites. These are sprites or objects, maybe. Because it will depend on what you want to make. Because when you talk about Scratch, you talk about visual programming. You can do animations, you can do games, you can do stories. You can do animated stories from Scratch. Not only games, but you can do animated stories or such like things. We have food, we have fashion, we have letters. Maybe letters, you want to animate your letters, you want to animate your name. You can Scratch gives you a platform on to do that. So those are sprites. So you just click on, if you want to add a sprite, you just click. You will just click on any sprite that you want to be added. You click on any sprite that you want to be added. Maybe I want to add maybe this sprite called Avery. Yeah, I also have added 2 sprites. Okay, so that is the sprite pen here. It's called the sprite pen. Here we have backdrop. Backdrop is simply the background. It's simply the background. So you can see there are different backgrounds, like for our students or our teachers. When you go for drama in your schools, there are those boards which you put behind maybe the stage. They are called backdrops. Just the background. Maybe I want to choose some background, maybe bedroom background. As you can see, my background at this point has changed. My background at this point has, so you can, depending on what you want, depending on what you need, that's when you change it. Depending on what you need, that's when you do what? You change it. That's when you change it. So that is the backdrop backdrop. So when we talked about costumes here and sounds and these coding blocks, so these coding blocks affect these sprites here. Now these coding blocks affect the sprites, affect this object. Maybe I click on our cat sprite and I go to motion. Let me delete every. Let me delete every. Maybe you can just delete. So maybe this is our cat here. I tell it to move 10 steps. Remember, this coding are blocks. It's affecting our sprite. It's affecting our sprite. It's affecting our sprite here. Then what you need to do, you are taking this coding block, you are dragging and dropping into the coding area. This is the coding area. So what you do, you drag and drop. You drag and drop. So if I click, maybe I click this my cat can, as you can see, it can move. I'm just showing you of what our coding blocks can do. Our coding blocks can do, because the coding blocks have the instruction like move 10 steps, turn 15 degrees. So all these coding blocks affect either the sprite or affect the background. Affect either the sprite or affect what? The background. So this is what we call the Scratch interface. Remember, there is online Scratch interface, there is offline Scratch interface. What I've taught you through is just the Scratch interface. So my colleague Mike will take you through a project called Space Talk.
Now, first of all, when you open your Scratch, it brings you a screen like this one. And then the first thing you want to name your project, the project that you'll be doing. So if you want to name your project, you come here, you can see, and I want to name my project Space Talk. Maybe I can add what 20, today is on the 24, something like that. So it is already recorded there. The second thing, when you are now dealing with the project, you go to the stage. Teacher Malik has told us the stage is our backdrop. All right, you must prepare where the screen, where you want where you want the script to be played. All right, so we will do our backdrop in space. Are we together? If we are together, just give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if all right. Thank you. So the first thing is creating the environment. And the environment is brought about by the backdrop. So you click here, and our space is there is something fancy. Yeah, under fancy, there are many categories. Not really fancy. It's in the space. We have space here. You can click here, or you can search space. All right, just simple like that. So we can take a backdrop that looks nice to us. Which one looks nice to you? Allow me to use Space City 2. And when you click, the backdrop comes. And because we are not using Sprite 1, we delete our Sprite 1 by clicking here, right? Hope we are together. Now we've created a space environment that we want to code for our project. So we've already started our project. The next thing we want to do is to add sprites. Sprites are simply characters, okay? So if we want to add a sprite, we come here and click this one, and there is a list of sprites that appear, right? So the first sprite that I want to add is Pico. And Pico is here. Good. Now on our stage, all right? Before we add another sprite, because I told you we'll be doing 3 sprites, all right? Now, I want to show you when you start your project, okay, if I click on my sprite and hold, I can drag my sprite anywhere on my page, all right? So I can place it anywhere I want. So that's a basic thing that will help us make our codes well, or dictate where our sprites should start from. All right. Now, I want us to save our project. So if you want to save your project, as you do your project, maybe you might have a project that can run even 2-3 days, a progressive project, because Malik has told us you can make a game, you can make animations, you can create a stories. So maybe you're creating a story, you expect your story to go through, maybe depending on how creative you are. So you come to file, click, and then save. You can, because I'm using offline Scratch, you save it on my computer. But if you are using online Scratch, you save it in your account. So we want our sprite to say hello. Now we want to code our character that we have on the screen to say hello. Hope we are together. Now, first of all, we are doing it under, we must see which category is hello. We will find or we'll make our sprite say hello. Okay, if we click on the motion, you'll see there is none. If we go to looks, it is the first option that comes. So there is here a word you can edit and make it say anything else. Then here is time. 2 is in seconds. So you dictate the duration to which your sprites speak. So if you want to take a block, you Malika starters, you just right click and drag into your.
Yes.
Is there a question? Can you just speak up? Swali lolote? Okay, kama kuna swali sawa sawa. So I've just brought a block here, and it says my block is written say hello for 2 seconds. Now, if I click on my, let's see, you can see what you can see what our sprite is doing. Okay, just sorry for that. If I click this, you can see our sprites, our people saying hello. All right. Nani ameona hello? If you just seen hello, give me a thumbs up. Yes. Thank you very much. That's simply making our sprite to to speak using the looks block. Okay, now because we are creating a story, now there are many controls or events that we should put there so that the events can run all together. If we just code like this, the events won't run all together. If you come to the events block, there are many blocks under events that enables us to run a story. Malik has taught us about clicking the green flag. So here is what you check. You can use this one when the green flag is clicked, or you can use when this sprite is clicked. So if you use when the green flag is clicked, you see when I click the green flag, our people says hello for 2 seconds. If I use when this sprite is clicked, now if I click my sprite, the sprite says hello for 2 seconds. So if you want to delete a block, you can just right click and delete, right click on the block and delete your block. Now, allow me to use this when the green flag is clicked. Now, Pico has said hello for 2 seconds. Now we want to add another thing. We want to hear some sound. Okay? Sound is very, very, very important. Now, if you want to get sound on your Scratch interface, if you want to get sound on your Scratch interface, now, first of all, there is sounds here. You can play any sound when you click, when you place a sound block. So if we click sounds, this is the first sound that comes when you open, by default, when you open your Scratch. So if I can just play it, you can hear a pop sound, right? No, but we don't want a pop sound. We want a sound that is related to space. We click here, you've seen, and then we come to space. These are the sounds. You can hear the sounds. Don't know if it sounds better. This one. So when I click that sound, you can decide to edit your sound to go faster or slower. You can fade in or fade out. It depends on how you want to hear it. This is the sound that we chose. So you can decide to delete the pop sound. Now, when you go back to your chords and click on sounds, you can say play sound until done. Or you can start the sound. Okay? So for now, I want us to start the sound. So this sound will start, and then our, our input will be together. Yes, that sound is not disturbing. Yes. Now, we want to go to our next sprite. I told you we want to do 3 sprites. And Space Talk will simply help you know how to maneuver through the Scratch project. Now, our next sprite we added from here, and we want to add another sprite. You can scroll and look for a better sprite, but for me, I want to add, okay, yes, I want to add, yes, nano. I want to add nano. So you can see now we have 2 sprites. Nano is here. Now I will use when the green flag is clicked so that when I play, my project is goes at once. So when my green flag is clicked, what do I want Nano to do? First of all, we've been shown the costumes. Now, when you click on the costumes, and this is our sprite, you can see the several costumes that our sprite has. This is costume 1, A, B, C, and D. So you can see this one is, I don't know, how do you describe the looks on that face? Okay, this one is like cheeky and happy. This one, yeah. This one is mad. So you can decide if our nano, if our nano, is somebody raising their hand? Okay. If this is the costumes we have, so it means we can use several costumes. I want our nano to switch to costume B. So when the green flag is clicked, our nano should switch to costume B. All right. So switch to costume B is under looks. So we just go through it and find where is switch to costume. Now here is switch to costume, but now when you bring it here and click on this arrow and a drop down menu will appear and choose the costume that you want. So for me, I'll choose B. So when I click my green flag, our nano or my nano will go to costume B. And then I wanted to say thanks for 2 seconds, right? So we go back to looks and you see now this one is say hello for 2 seconds. Now we want to say thanks. You can edit it from here, all right? Before you drag and drop it, or you can drag and drop it and edit it from here. So our nano will say thanks for 2 seconds. You get it? And then after our nano say thanks for 2 seconds, our nano can change costume to A. We use also this so you can switch your costume back to A. I hope you are together. All right. So this will help us see how a costume changes. You can also edit your costume depending on wherever you want. You can add anything. You can edit. You can see. So anything is editable. So do not. Okay. What I do here is happening here. So let me just. You can bring it back. So you can play with the sprite the way you want. You can edit the colors. You can write in anything that you want. You can add any color. You can add a dot like here. Yeah, anything. All right. Let's go back to our coding area. Now, our nano, we've coded it. You've seen in our first sprite with Pico, you've seen how our Pico talks and how we add sound. Under our nano, you've seen also the talking and switching costumes. Now, let us add another sprite, which is our last sprite or the third sprite. Okay, you click there. I hope Meshika Water. I want to add Giga. Now, Giga, I want to search it from here. If you know the name, these are the two options I get. I want to use this one. So Giga is here, and I told you you can long press and drag anywhere where you want it to appear on stage. All right. So our Giga is here. We can use as we start when the green flag is clicked. And then I want our Giga to change color effect. Okay. I want our Giga or my Giga to change color effect. Now, where will we go? Now, we'll search where our color effect is. Now, of course, it should be under looks. So, where is our color effect? Change color effect is here. You can see this one. So, when we take these blocks and join it to our first block, this color effect can go to 200. So, here is 25. 100 or 50 or 150, depending on what you want. So, and then after changing the color effect, because every time we'll be starting this project, the color will be changing. Now, I want our Giga to think, all right? our giga to think. Think is also under looks. So I just take it and drag it into the coding area so that it should think for 2 seconds. And then you want to see what happens after that. You can see, let me just, okay, let me click this one. You can see what happens. The color changes and it thinks. Just wanted to play it alone so that others should not play. Okay, we can also clear graphics. You can use that option if you want to clear your graphic effects so that after your project has run several times, your sprite will go back to the original colors. So it's better to add this one. So because these color effects, I'm just clearing the color effects when I'm playing when I press our my green flag. So up to there, are we together? If we are together, just give me a thumbs up. I know this is the introductory part. It is always good. Yes. So our introductory part is very simple. I don't know if somebody has a question on that because we are dealing with children and teachers. So we'll just go by that. And then I know tomorrow we'll do another project that is more complicated. So these are our space characters. And the backdrop is here. And we've coded, because the project is called Space Talk, each character or each sprite speaks simultaneously when our project starts. So I have used when my green flag is clicked, but I will also use when I summarize if I will use when my sprite is clicked. Or allow me to use when my sprite is clicked, then I'll use when my green flag is clicked. You can easily edit your blocks as you code. If you do any mistake or if you want to make any changes, you can. This is our stop, and this our green flag is our start. So when I've used when my sprite is clicked. So if I click Pico, okay, allow me to expand my screen. You expand your screen from here. If I click Pico, can hello, you can see that. If I click icon, right, and then I click and it thinks and then it changes its color effects. You can see that. All right. Kama mmeelewa mpaka hapo, just give me thumbs up kama mmeelewa hadi hapo. Yes, yes, thank you. Kama mmeelewa hadi hapo. Kama mmeelewa hadi hapo ni nzuri. Now, blessed me, I don't know, do you have a question? Blessed me? Okay, what is the function of looks? Now, if because we are just wrapping up, I know we shall answer some a few questions when we finish. There are categories of the blocks we use when coding. And these categories on our Scratch interface are as you see them here. Our first teacher took us through them. We have first motion. Motion is movement. All right? So you can move, you can turn, you can go up, you can go down, you can change position, you can glide, you can jump, you can run. That is motion. So you asked about looks. Looks is simply appearance. You can make something appear on the screen, like our giga here. When I click say hello, the appearance is the hello is under looks because you can see it, you can visualize it. Okay, you can make it think, you can make it change costume, you can make it change color, you can change the backdrop, you can change the size. Okay, maybe I'll teach you that before I finish. Color effects I've taught you, and also the graphic effects. And then there is show and hide. I hope I have answered your question. Now, I want us to do our conversation on the screen. So when I've finished my project and I want to play my asbestos project, so maybe I'm projecting to people, I'm showing people how I have created a game on my Scratch. So this one says, hello, you can say sound, its costume and then goes back to the original costume. And our last one says things. All right. So it is a conversation. Yes. Yes.